Yet this is another video, and I would like to say welcome. And this video would be doing more on verb, basically understanding verb. And I think understanding the verb is really important, very important. It's one of those part of speech that can frustrate you in German if you don't know how to go about them, right? So I would actually spend time learning it, and I don't want myself and everyone watching to rush it. Just take your time at learning the verb, and I guarantee you that it will pay off. So we'll be learning a lot of verbs. And at the beginning, do not worry about the English meaning of some certain German verbs. I'll be showing you. I will try as much as possible to tell the English meaning. And yeah, in later videos, we will check more on German verbs and their English meaning and how to conjugate them. So let me just really break down the agenda here. The agenda we have, and the first thing we'll be doing is the basic terminologies. And in these basic terminologies, I would just take care of part one, because I feel like doing the part two now as a beginner would frustrate some of us like me. So we'll just get the part one, the basic terminologies, and briefly explain the personal pronouns, and then we'll go in depth, because these personal pronouns, we have different cases like the accusative, the nominative first rather, and then accusative and the dative, right? But here we'll just look at the basic accusative, which is the subject. The accusative, right? And then we talk about the verb position, and also in this video we'll be looking at the formation of present tense, basically how to conjugate verbs. That's just what that is. And in other videos, in later videos which I'm going to be releasing, we would have conjugation of 30 verbs, part one, the part two of conjugation of 30 verbs, and we have conjugation of haben, sein, and werden. Yeah, haben, sein, und werden. So let's go, people. Okay, so let's dive into what verb is, or what verbs are. So a verb or verbs are words, right? They are words that show action, right? So if you have a word that shows action, that is a verb. Example: schwimmen. Schwimmen means to swim. And then we have schreiben. Schreiben means to write. Verb also tell us about mental actions. For instance, to think. The word to think in German is denken. Denken, that's to think. So verb also would show a state of being. To be, sein. It shows a state of being, sein. Or to exist, existieren. Existieren, right? So a beautiful thing to know about verb is verb is really important, yes, which I've said before. Almost every sentence requires a verb. And the basic form of a verb is known as infinitive. For instance, I've shown you some of the examples up there. We have schreiben, that's the infinitive form of verb. We have schwimmen, the infinitive form of verb. We have kaufen, the infinitive form of verb. We have gehen, the infinitive form of verb. Okay, so let us really talk about what infinitive is. So infinitive is a form of verb in its basic form. Genauso, which I've already said, it is not being changed or conjugated. So for instance, in English we have go to be a form of verb. That's the infinitive form of verb in English, go. So it doesn't agree with the subject. For instance, if I say it goes, right? It goes, that means I am already conjugating the verb. That's a conjugated verb. So in English, in German, you have gehen to be the infinitive form of verb, right? So when I say ich gehe, the gehe there, it's conjugated. that's not more the infinitive form of verb. That's what we call the finite form of verb. So this agrees with the subject and it has been conjugated. Oh man, in trying to explain infinitive verbs, I have actually touched finite verb and also conjugation. But let me just kind of talk about what conjugation is and then give two or more examples. We already know conjugation is when a verb agrees with the subject. When the verb is changing from its basic form to agree with the subject, that process is what you call conjugation. So example, the infinitive verb of to buy is kaufen. Kaufen. So when I say he buys or he is buying, I would say kauft. Kauft. So kauft is changing the form from kaufen to kauft to agree with the subject. Okay, so another thing we need to take note is the verb stem. So in this verb stem and verb ending, auxiliary verbs, this will also help us further understand verbs. Okay, so verb stem. In German, infinitive verbs end in either en or n. Even for native speakers, I'm sure they really don't pay attention to it. Maybe I'm wrong, but they really don't pay attention to it. But every German verb ends either en or n. Example, I've been saying them: kaufen, en, gehen, ehen, schwimmen, ehen, schreiben, ehen, denken, ehen, sagen, ehen, fragen, ehen, suchen, wohnen, kommen, machen, brauchen, lieben, leben, bekommen, vertrauen. All of this ends with hen. Sorry if I am just saying those verbs too fast, because at the end of this video we would also pick those verbs again and then conjugate them. So don't worry about it if you are a beginner. So yeah, so we will check them out. But just to give you an example of how those verb ends with hen, and then my knowledge is limited in the verbs with n, but I know one that ends with n, which is lerchen. If I'm pronouncing this right, if you're a native speaker and then I'm pronouncing this right, just let me know, or wrong, let me know in the comment section. After this video, I would also go back to check. But if you are listening and you're a beginner, please just go check. I'll leave the spelling here and then go check how to pronounce it properly. But I think it's lerchen, right? Okay. Now that we are informed about what the German verbs ends with, it is also good to know that when you remove the en and n at the back of each infinitive verbs, you are left with the verb stem. An example, kaufen. When I remove the en at the back of kaufen, I am left with kauf. When I remove the en at the back of gehen, I am left with geh. When I remove the en at the back of haben, I am left with hab. So those are what we call the verb stem, and it is important during the section where we try to conjugate the verb, that is when the verb is trying to agree with the subject, we need to work with the verb stem. So it makes sense that we are understanding this right now. I will give a brief illustration of the examples. And then I hope you kind of understand this because we would use it a lot of time. So an example here is Ich gehe nach Hause. Now the verb here, the infinitive form of the verb here is gehen. And when I remove the en at the back, I am left with ge. And the rule is for me to agree with the first person subject, first person, which is I, right? I just need to add ich to it. So then we have gehe. You have ich gehe. Do you see that? So working with the verb stem is important, and we will see more of the rules in what to add, the endings in what to add in the next topic. You see, that brings us to verb endings. After we have understood how to separate the en and from the verb, so we have the verb stem, there's what we call the verb ending, right? So what do we add to the verb stem to agree with the subject? Looking at this, we have ich, which is I. Ich would carry, the verb stem will carry ich to agree with the first person, right? Du will carry st. Sie, s will carry t. Wir will carry en. Ihr will carry t. And sie will carry en. So the verb endings are determined by the person and whether it is singular or plural, right? So ich is singular, wir is plural, du is singular, you. Then ihr is plural, you, which is like you guys. Is I, sie, she, s, it. Then sie is plural, which is they or them, right? So don't worry about how we use this now. At the end, before the end of this video, we would check this out. And then we have auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs basically are helping verbs. That's what we call the helping verbs. And there are three: haben, to have; sein, to be, right? And then we have werden, to become. To become. They are used to form tenses and the passive voice. So we will do more of this in later videos. And also we have the basic terminologies part 2, but that will be coming soon, not here. The personal pronouns. The personal pronouns take the place of a person or thing. Example: the book is replaced by it. The man is replaced by he. The first person singular in German is called ich. This usually takes the place of the subject. So I am going to the market. I, ich, is the subject. Ich gehe nach Hause. Ich is the subject. The plural form of the first person is wir, we, right? The subject, we, the plural form in German is wir, right? So we also have the second person singular, du, and the second person plural ihr. So ihr basically is like I'm saying you guys. If you are a lot of I'm trying to talk to 3 or 4 persons or people, I can say here. And then we have sie, which is the second person of you, but is used in the formal way. And then the plural also is sie, you, formal. Third person personal pronoun, we have here, sie, es, which translates in English to be he, she, it. And then we have sie, they, the plural form of a third person. We would also look at examples. I don't want to bother us with a lot of examples now. We will check examples and try to understand these things for ourselves. So just jumping into the verb positions. In a basic German sentence, the conjugated verb is the second element. Usually the subject is the first element followed by the verb. So here is trying to tell us that every German sentence has the verb in the second position. Again, the example I gave, ich gehe nach Hause. Ich is the subject, then the verb is in the second position, you in German. So ich gehe, du gehst, er geht, wir gehen, er geht, sie gehen. So the verb usually is in the second position. And another thing is when I'm asking a question. So when I'm asking a question, the conjugated verb becomes the first element. Remember the example I gave? I am going home. Ich gehe nach Hause. If I want to make that a question, I will start with the verb. Gehst du nach Hause? Gehst du nach Hause? Gehst du nach Hause? So that's where you say it. And when I'm using a different element, for instance, I am saying to rearrange this, you can also say nach Hause gehe ich. This in writing is correct. This is correct because this is the first element here. Nach Hause gehe ich. The verb, the important thing to know here is that the verb will always be at the second position, no matter what. I can't say nach Hause ich gehe. No, that is wrong. Then I can say nach Hause gehe ich. No matter how you twist it or rearrange it, your verb has to be the second element. Right? I'm trying to think of another example. A normal way to say mein Name ist Julian. I can say Julian ist mein Name. Right? So the verb is has to be in the middle. Just take note. As you practice every time with this, we all will get better. Even me too. I'll get better. So the last part of this video will be the formation of tenses. So the formation of tenses, we've spoken about the infinitive. I've said a lot of things about the infinitive. The infinitive form of the verb is the basic form. That's what you would usually find in the dictionary. It has not been changed or conjugated. It does not agree with a subject, and it's not a tense. So basically what I also said about the German infinitive is that it ends with en or n. So now we would practice with 10 verbs how to do basic conjugation. That's how verbs can agree with the subject. We would be doing some conjugation of verbs, and yeah, I'll just run through them. I've done the explanation already, so I might not do too much of explanation, but in case I find it helpful, I would just say or talk about what I'm doing. But the first one here that we have is gehen, and gehen means to go, right? So to go, we start with ich, gehe, du, gehst. We have es, sie, es geht, right? That's correct. And we also have wir, gehen. We have here. Let's make this right here. Gate, and we have what is that again? Z, that is they or them, and then we also have Z, which is gehen. Okay, so let me just make this look nice, right? So a quick explanation to what I've done here, because I know you know. We have this to be the stem. Talked about the stem. G to be the stem, and then we have en here to be the ending. So every time we do our conjugation, we use the stem, and then we make sure that the stem agrees with the subject. So the first one is e, st, t, en, t, en. So let's go. Let's do another one. So this is one. This is one. Okay, I think I can just copy. Let me see if I can copy this so it makes it easier for me, for us. Paste, right? So so the second one we're doing here is every verb starts with small letter, so don't make that mistake in your written exam. So this is to leave. To leave. So to leave we have ich wohne. Then we have du wohnst, right? We have it's not s. Oh, sorry. Z S Z S. That to be wohnt, right? Wohnt. We have wohnen. Please, if I make any mistake like that, just comment and let me know in the comment section. I mean, wohnt, right? And then we also have wohnen, right? So this is okay. So this is number two, and then we have number three, sagen, to say, right? To say. So we have the same one here. So sagen. As usual, we have our verb stem to be sag. So it should be ich sage. Du sagst, er sagt, right? Then we have sagen. Was have sagen, sagt, and we have here sagen, right? So remove number 4. It's number 4. We have kommen. So we have is kommen. We have here du kommst, right? Kommt. And so wir kommen, right? Here comes, and then we have sie kommen. So these are all agreeing with the subject. So we have number 5. First, number 5, we are going with fragen. So fragen, we have ich frage. At the time we do auxiliary verbs and the modal verbs, right? We can then use things like kann, ich kann. You can also ask questions like kann ich eine Frage? Can I ask? Kann ich eine Frage stellen? Is the verb stellen? Ja, stellen. Kann ich eine Frage stellen? So, du fragst. This so I have to copy not paying attention. Z. So let's just quickly correct this. I have to copy a new one instead of Z, right? So when I'm done with this, I'll copy this. So SZS fragt, right? Then we have fragen. We have here geht, here fragt again, and then here we have fragen, sie fragen. So I'll copy this guy. So I can paste it here for number 6. Number 6 we have besuchen, besuchen, correct. Besuchen, correct. Okay, besuchen is besuche, besuchst, as yes, besucht. Okay, so ich besuche, right? Du besuchst. Okay, for number 6, let me paste this. Why am I still having this guy? Delete. Here we have copy, paste. Okay, so this way, copy, paste, right? Okay, so we have number 6 to mark, and so let's mark it. Marks as marked, right? Wir marken, right? Marked, and sie marken. So we have again paste. Lieben, before we do lieben, ish. So I'm trying to toast your girl. Yeah, ich liebe, ich liebe dich. Du liebst sie es liebt, right? We also have fragen, wir lieben, ihr liebt auch. We also have sie lieben. Okay, and here we have this is number 7 here. Number 7. And then we have number 8 here. Number 8, we have level. Oh, I stopped giving them English meaning. Okay, here is to come. Yeah, fragen to ask. Yeah, marken. To do. And lieben, to love. Ich liebe dich, I love you from the bottom of my heart. Leben is to live. Ich liebe, ich wohne. Leben. I'm confused with this. Leben. This would be life. Life to live. Leben means life. Right, okay. We have to confirm. Please let us you can tell me in the comment section what Leben means. Ich lebe. Okay. Du lebst. Ja. Ich liebe dich. Leb. Okay. Embarrassing. So number 8 we do suchen, which is to search, right? To search. So it's suche. Yeah. Suche, du suchst. Yeah. Sie forgot to copy, paste SZS. Sie sucht. We have wir suchen. We have wir suchen. We have sucht. And we have the small z. this large one, which is you, then zoo. Okay. Yep, right. So we have sorry, where can I, this is number 8. No space, we need to have space for this. Number 9, sorry if this is really messed up. Number 9, we have, make this smaller. Number 9, broken, we can go with broken. Let's copy and paste that. So we have broken, which broken, the blocks, SDS blocked, we're broken. Yeah, it sounds like rocking. There's even rocking inside of it. So broken. This is also ear brocked. You see how it goes. ZZ broken. So we have number 10, which is the last one. Number 10, which is the last one. And then there's something I want to correct. This to live is to live in terms of reside. Like I reside in ich wohne in dem Labens, ich wohne in Fuda, ich wohne in Deutschland, ich wohne in Philippines, ich wohne in, I don't know, it just means where you reside, right? And then there is this Leben, right? This Leben, this is also to live, but it refers to like life, right? Life, to live your life, to, you know what I mean? So probably we'll do some examples and see. Ich lebe, ich lebst, right? Ich lebt, lebe, lebst, lebt. Du liebst, forgot to sie es lebt. So then we have wir leben, ihr lebt, and then we have sie, which means they or them, and then sie, which is the plural for either the singular or the plural for respect, you, for formal you. But we'll talk more about these personal pronouns later. Sie leben. So this brings me to the end of this chapter. We would see more of verbs. We'll conjugate almost 100 of it in a video, so just to get familiar with it. And also these verbs we just did now are called regular verbs. Regular verbs are verbs that follow this pattern. Some verbs do not follow this pattern, right? They follow another kind of pattern, which you have to know. So this pattern you are seeing with EST, this pattern you are seeing with EST, TEN, these are called regular verbs. Irregular verbs do not follow this pattern. So take note in case you see it and then you're like, So we'll also do that gradually. Enjoy the process. Thank you for staying up to this time and then enjoying the German verb. In the next video, we'll be doing a dictation, like spelling bees. So I would be pronouncing the words and then you have to write. So we'll be doing 50 German spelling bees. So just to help our vocabularies. I'm sure it's basically all the things I've been using. So just to help our vocabularies, stay tuned, get your Bible and book ready, and then 50 German vocabularies spelling bees. Thank you.